All right, so you guys have gotten enough of the code that I think we're going to go ahead and have you guys go ahead and start creating your project. And then you guys will just start uploading your code as you go. So you're going to create a new repo. And this repo, just go ahead and call it my website. Provide a description about your website. Go ahead and create the repository after you provide your description. You're going to copy this right here. And then you're going to go to Get Kraken. You're going to clone that repo. So here we're going to go where to clone to. We want to go to, you guys go into your web design, and then you're just selecting that folder and you're pasting that URL. It's going to create that My Website folder on there. You're going to go ahead and clone that repo. It's going to tell you to open it up and then initialize it. We're going to initialize it. So now we have a copy of what was written that's back on here. So now you guys have a way that you could either copy stuff using GitHub, or if you want to actually see what your website looks like, now that you've done that, you could open up Atom. So I could go here and I could say File, open a folder, or add it. Let's do Add Project folder. And we're in web design and we click on the My Website. Now it's going to open up right here. It just has that Git and that README. So inside here, I could open up a new file, and I could do save this as index.html in that web design folder. So My Website. I'm going index.html. Spelling is important. Your main page should always be called index.html. Now if I went to Get Kraken and I look, I see that my work in progress has one more advanced. I got that index.html. I'm going to go ahead and stage that change. And then I need to give a meaningful commit created the index page. Commit that change, and then I have to push to make sure that my remote has that. So I can push. I want to push it on the origin and their master. I go ahead and select that. Now both of those are online with that commit. So if I come here back to my website repo, if I refresh, now I see that that index is there. I can look at the commit and it says created the index page. All right. This is what you guys want to do to have a good workflow. What I wanted to show you though is what you should be kind of considering for a good website. Aaron Draplin, you guys looked at his stuff as he was talking about designing the logos. He makes quite a bit of money. So emulating a good website is not a bad idea. Seeing how he has stuff laid out, what he's doing. A lot of times people end up, especially because you're an online presence, wanting to know a little bit more about you. If you look at his website, he gives, it almost seems like too much information. Gives a lot of details about who he is, where he came from, his inspirations, different things, even movies that he likes. Okay, so using those lists, look at that, ordered list. Okay, we can do a lot of that in our website, and I do want you guys to implement that. So before you guys are just turning around and saying, well, I don't want to put that in my website, I want to see all of it. Okay, I'm expecting you guys to have a fully useful website, not just a couple web pages. We want to design something that is totally unique and modern. It should be very thorough. You guys should be implementing information about yourself or business or whatever you're trying to push, and being very detailed in its contents. Okay, so there are a lot of stuff that we could do. None of these are actually showing the details one, but there are different things that we can do to see what we're looking at. So I would suggest that you spend some time, look at his website. It's draplin.com. And he's got just a lot of stuff. He'll talk about, his designs, how he came up with that stuff, things that he's worked on. He gets paid like it's either $10,000 or $20,000 per logo that he designs, and a lot of that is just building up clientele. He's delivering what they want. It's producing results because he's using good design principles. A lot of this comes not just from practice, but from a lot of research and studying and knowing what looks right for that time period. So I would suggest you'd spend some time here. Your guys' website that you're going to start building, even though you're using your design principle, your brainstorm sessions, you are still going to be implementing a lot of the code that I'm telling you so that I can see that you understand that code. And I'm forcing you guys to make sure that you're building a complete website. Okay, not something that could be done easily and not look as professional as what it could be. Okay, so eventually you may end up pulling some things off, but for the time being, you guys are going to be implementing all the code that I've been mentioning based off your brainstorm session. So your details, your list, your details, I want you to list all the books that you have read. For your list, you can do block quote, and I want you to put favorite movies. For your list, your ordered list, I want you to do the order of classes that you take this semester. For an unordered list, hobbies that you have. And for your images, I want you to provide at least 2 images, one that you are resizing and one that you're leaving default. Okay, and I want you to find some type of file that you want them to be able to download. Okay, so you're going to do that with the links, and you're going to provide all the links for your navigation bar to have that fully fledged out. So you're going to have to start building your other 4 pages and putting some stuff on there. Okay, now when you go to the next page, my index page, when I go to the contact page, I have to provide some means of navigation to get back from my contact page back to my index page. So you're going to have to go back and forth so you don't get stuck and lock a person into a corner on their stuff. So go ahead and spend some time at Draplin or any of the other portfolio examples on how they do navigation. Look for those things, try to find those ideas, but you are going to implement all of those lists that we talked about, the images and the hyperlinks. All right, have fun.